All right, guys, Don Saladino here with my friend Maria Carlin. Let's go, high five. Kept me hanging for a second. What Maria and I are gonna do today is we're gonna take everyone through a 5-movement circuit. This should take 15 to 20 minutes, really simple. We'll go back and forth between the 5-pound handles and the 10-pound handles. It's such a versatile tool. It's so easy to use. And we're gonna go through a upper push, upper pull, a squat, a hinge, and a core movement. We're gonna run through round 1, and we're gonna repeat. And we're gonna have some fun with it. We're gonna train the full body. Let's get going. We're gonna start with just a standing dumbbell shoulder press. I'm gonna hand you the 10-pound handles, and let's go 10 reps overhead. So what I want you focusing on here is keeping your glutes tight so we don't arch our lower back. Maria's doing a great job in keeping her elbow vertical to her wrist and hand. Getting a full range of motion, glutes tight, core strong. Let's go for 10 reps. Perfect. So what she's gonna do right now, she's gonna go through about 10 repetitions of her overhead shoulder press, and then we're gonna go into our alternating dumbbell row. So we're gonna complement an upper pushing movement with an upper pulling movement. Perfect. So now, I think the pull's gonna be a little bit light here. So I'm gonna throw the handles up. We're gonna go to, I think about 15 pounds is gonna be a good weight here. And what I love about it is these weights are interchangeable. So we have 15 pounds, we're gonna go into our right arm pull, our left arm pull. We're gonna pull our handles to our pockets. Good. Perfect. Now, just looking down towards the ground so we're not straining our neck. Perfect. There we go. That's 1. Keep it going. Glutes tight, core tight. That's 2. Working our lats, our biceps. A lot of core work here because we have to stabilize. Count 10 each arm. How's that feeling? Good? So I like efficient workouts. I like especially, you know, these compound movements, big bang for our buck movements, not a lot of time in and out. I think that's the biggest mistake that most people are making with training is they always think that they need 90 minutes. So they have to sit here and just beat the living daylights out of themselves. Consistency trumps intensity. Get moving, break a sweat, work the entire body, get in, get out, rinse and repeat, come back the next day. And that's what happens with a lot of us, right? We'll begin to train, perfect. And we go too hard the first few days, and because we go too hard, we then end up losing motivation. So what I'd like to do right now is on the split squat, we're using about 15, 20 pounds. What's your typical weight?
Yeah, maybe 15.
15 pounds? No, we can go with the same handles then. And then the next set, we can always bump up that weight. So let's go into our split squat. So now that was our push, that was our pull. Now we're going to a form of squat or knee dominant movement, which I love the split squat. It's unilateral, it's forcing a lot of balance and stability. Quads, hamstrings, glutes, core. We're gonna go 10 repetitions. She knows what she's doing. Let's go. Right after this, we'll repeat the other side, and then we're gonna go into our hinge. So again, sometimes I like training, it's like throwing logs on the fire, right? Sometimes you don't have a lot of time. Sometimes you're like, all right, you know what, I got only 30 minutes. And a lot of us just say, oh, well, that's not good enough. It is good enough. I always like, training's like keeping a fire lit. Like some days we could throw a lot of wood on that fire. Other days we can only feed it a couple pieces. Like, let's just keep it burning. Let's just keep that spark going. Keeps our head in a good place. We're making better food choices. We're deciding to move a little bit more. Really, really good. Okay. I want to go into now, do you remember that kickstand RDL that you and I went through the other day? So we're going to go here, keeping that hip dominant. Let's go from there. So the first set, I'm going a little easy on you, and then we can always bump up the weight a little bit. But perfect. Just feeling like you're getting a good stretch in your hamstring, your glute. I love the kickstand RDL a little bit more than that one-legged RDL, because that one-legged RDL becomes much more about balance. And I don't think you can load it as heavy. So Maria looks really strong right now. Her back looks really flat, in a great, safe position. She's got about, I'd probably say between 80 and 90% of her weight on that front leg. That back leg is acting like a kickstand, just for a little bit of stability. 10 and then switch. Keep it up, good, perfect. So this right now should feel pretty easy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, you feel that, let's bring that back leg forward a little bit more. Good, good, there we go. Remember, I just want that back leg acting as like a kickstand on a bike. Like if you were to sit on a bike that has the kickstand down, it wouldn't hold you up. Like there's very little weight on that back leg. Getting a good stretch, pushing those glutes back towards the wall, perfect. These are so easy to change as soon as we start going up in more weight, and you can do 5-pound increments with one handle, and you can go 10-pound increments with another handle, which is just a really nice tool to have. So anytime someone asks me, there's one piece of gym equipment to have, this is what I'm using. I'd like to use that, do you remember that plank row?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go on that plank row, but I want you thinking about the plank row as like, imagine I'm putting like a glass of water on your back. I don't want your hips moving at all, so just get your feet a little bit wider, and let's keep everything stable. Let's go 10 each side. Perfect. Feet wide, back and hips don't move. Pull to your, yes, glutes tight. That's one. Biggest mistake I see on this movement is when we start moving the hips too much, we're not really stabilizing. So she's really fighting with her glutes and her core to keep her hips pretty level. 10 each side. You got it. Very good. Perfect. How'd that feel? Yeah, it's tough, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, the cool thing about this is you just got through the entire body. So technically, like, if you had to stop the workout right now, you trained everything. We're in like a pretty good place right now. So what I'd like to do is, let's go back to that shoulder press now. Did the 10s feel right for you? Or did it feel a little lighter, a little heavy, or how'd you feel? Okay, do you want to try and push it a little bit?
I could try.
Okay, let's go to the 15s. I think this is a big jump, but you know what? Let's go for it. And the worst thing that happens is we can't get all the reps. Yes, perfect. Just going with a bilateral shoulder press. There's other ways too. We can go with alternating. Yeah, Maria's strong right now. That's 15 pounds. 2, keeping those glutes tight. 3. 1. Thing you want to think about with the overhead press, we want to make sure we have enough external rotation in those shoulders and enough thoracic extension. If we don't and you start leaning back, a little bit of stress can go onto that lower back. Not a big fan of that. We don't always have to go overhead, but Maria does such a good job with it. Why not? 10 times. Perfect. You know what? Don't even put it down. Let's go right into that alternating row again. Light, medium, or heavy? Light, medium? Medium, keep going. You got it. I like medium, heavy. Let's go 10 times each side. Keep it up. So the thing Maria is doing such a good job of is look at her lower back. It's flat. We're not going into that rounded position. I don't mind the upper back rounding. I'm really more concerned with that lower back rounding. 10 times. Perfect, good, give me that. So now we had the 15-pound dumbbells. What I wanna do is I'm gonna take the 15-pound handles out, and I wanna go to 20 pounds for the split squat. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch those handles. So simple, and now we go from a 5-pound increment to a 10-pound increment. So I can go literally, trying to do it from the side angle, okay? We'll go from here, and let's go into that split squat now. Put it down here. So now we're at 20 pounds rather than 15 where it just was. Good? There we go. 2. It's a difficult thing with dumbbells sometimes, right? Because you know, 2.5, 5, 7 pounds, 10 pounds, 12.5 pounds, 15 pounds. You start like having to accumulate a lot of dumbbells to, get all these weights that you're gonna need. And the fact that we have everything just right here, very cool. What are you feeling there? Quads, hamstrings, glutes? Heart rate's starting to come up a little bit right now. We're pushing a little bit, good. There you go. Let's go 10 reps. And then we'll just put those right down the ground right when you're done. Perfect. Okay. Shake it out. You all right? Breathing heavy. Breathing heavy, but that's a perfect example. Like, we're not beating you up, but we're very efficient with our time. And that's what I want to do. I mean, you're a mom of 3. You got to be out of here. You said, like, I have 20 minutes for a workout. No, seriously, but we don't always have this time, but you're going to leave here feeling great. So I want to go in that kickstand RDL. Let's use one of those dumbbells. Remember, careful picking it up. Great. Kickstand, that foot drops back just a little bit. Move this over here. Let's bring that back leg forward just a little bit. There we go. Pushing those glutes back to the wall. Good. Great job, great tempo. One thing Marie does an awesome job of is making sure that every repetition looks the same. She's got a very good coach, in case you're curious, so keep it coming.
Very good, good coach.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And good. Great. And that's good too. Sometimes if you get a little too out of breath, I'd rather you put the weight down, catch your breath, reset, make sure that we have a high level of quality over quantity. I think sometimes a lot of people want to come in here and they're only thinking about heart rate and jacking their heart rate up. And I know that's important, but with me, when I've trained, I mean, I've been training for 26 years now. So any person in Hollywood I work with, there's a time and place for more work capacity type training, which is more circuit work, getting that heart rate really elevated. And there's other times that we want to focus a little bit more on strength. And that balance for me has been a big reason why I think a lot of people I've worked with have been so successful. All right, so remember, Marie and I today, we're just training 10 reps, 5 movements. We're going to go back into that plank row, but I want to switch the handles because the plank row, that one was really challenging for you, right? I mean, you felt like when you hopped up, it was, you were a bit out of breath. And again, I don't want you to get to the point where you're, just destroying yourself. So good wide stance, hips level, pulling your handles to your pockets, 10 reps each. So with this workout here, I mean, we're doing, 2 unilateral movements. So we're getting about 70 reps a series. So we have 5 movements, but 2 of those movements are unilateral, and that would be the kickstand RDL and the split squat. So it's 70 reps. So if we get 3 rounds of this, that's roughly 210 reps that we're going to get in about 20 minutes. I mean, it's a lot. Good job. Keep it nice and stable. She's doing a great job, like not slamming the weight down too. She's keeping consistent tension. That got you, right? 2 rounds. We're gonna go for 1 more round. I think we should do it. Why not? I love it, I love it, I love it. So we're gonna go back to that shoulder press. We're gonna stay with those 15 pounds. Okay, that overhead, how do you feel?
Yeah, that's good.
Heart rate's up a little bit? All right, let's go here. Let's go right there. Okay, good job keeping back flat, squatting down to grab the weight. Let's go overhead, glutes tight. Consistent. Range of motion, 3. 6. See your core shaking right now? That's what I love about these compound movements. We're creating tension throughout the body. And that heart rate starts elevating a bit. So in a way, this becomes, a little bit cardiovascular. I think what we should do though, is the alternating row looked a little bit light. Right arm, left arm, remember that one?
Yes.
I think it was a little bit light.
It was a little heavy.
It was a little light.
Oh.
I think it was a little light. I think you're strong. So, we're always, most of the time, we're gonna be a little bit stronger with our pulling than we're gonna be with our pushing. So let's go back into that alternating row. Switch the weights.
It's one weight.
Yeah, so it's right arm and then left arm, but keep doing what you're doing with keeping your back flat. Awesome. Perfect. And reach, don't worry. Like protracting is a good thing. A big misconception with rowing is we wanna train that lat in a stretch position. We wanna reach. A lot of times, you know, I used to hear, keep your shoulders back. No, reach. Just make sure that our low back isn't rounding. The thing I like to do is I like to train in a very full range of motion. I like getting into that stretch position, especially when you're trying to create hypertrophy. There's ways, I train different people for different things. I might train athletes for performance, or I might train bodybuilders for more hypertrophy. So we got our push, we got our pull. Let's go into our squat. Stay with the 20s, our split squat.
Okay.
Yep, same weight. I like that weight for you right now. The beautiful thing about this workout is you can always bump the reps up. Maria and I will train reps differently in different blocks of our training. So yes, we might get as high as 20 or 25 reps with specific movements in our training, and she might get as low as 5 to 8 reps. Keep rocking, perfect. Good range of motion. Something to think about also, sometimes Maria and her husband live really close by, so sometimes it's like you want to run out, you know, when the kids are taking a nap, make your husband watch them, come over here. It's like, how much time do I have? No, seriously, but this is a realistic question. Like you're running against the clock sometimes. So I never want you to race to the point where you're neglecting form, neglecting technique, but if we have, you know, 4 to 5 movements and we're in, you know, and we're performing them the right way, good things are gonna happen. Let's go into that kickstand RDL now. Same weight. I'll put this one back. Good. Stretch though, get into that stretch position. Your back is really good. Yeah, I want you to hinge forward, back is flat. You should feel that up your left hamstring right now, right? Yep, good. 10 times and then we'll switch. Keep it up. Main thing to think about is if you really struggle to, people always ask me, Don, I want it. Like I want to get in there and do the work. I can't be consistent. I truly believe it's because we're setting this expectation on what we should be doing, which is just too much. It really is. Some of the best training sessions I've had are, yeah, they might be a little bit shorter, right? And our body recovers and we're not doing too much. And if your body's under a lot of stress, you know, I think doing too much is gonna work against a lot of us. 10 times. So this year, I've actually used this workout with people. We've done anywhere from like 2 to 5 rounds. Like it depends on your time and it depends on, you know, what's your training schedule like. And you know, if you're someone training that, you know, 2 to 3 days a week, you don't have much time, you know, we could probably get a little more in. If you're getting a lot of sleep, okay. If you're up with your daughter's how old?
18 months.
18 months, okay, it's not easy. My kids now are older, so they're 16 and 15. I don't have that problem. I can't get them up. Let's go into that plank row.
Okay.
Same thing. Last set, come on. Crank it through this. Last set, best set. Keep everything really tight. Glutes tight, hips tight. Perfect, that's 1. Finishing up strong right now. 2. Got 5. Maria's doing a perfect job in keeping those hips level. If I'm taking a plate of food and putting it on her back, I don't want that plate of food to fall off. And if we want to get a little more advanced, we can always bring the legs in a little bit more, but right now this is perfect. 10 times, keep breathing. Working on good shoulder stability too, great core work. That really turned into a full body exercise. Is that a breath?
It's a good workout.
You feel good? So we just hit 5 movements. We hit about 210 reps. Remember the unilateral movements, really simple. We got through that. That was 20 minutes exactly, I think. I think it was about, what do you have? Just in time to pick up your 3-year-old. Great job. Thanks for helping out. We're gonna do it again, all right? Thanks guys. Any questions, fire them below. We'll get back to you.